Good evening, welcome back. It is Friday, thank goodness, Friday, April 21st, 2023. We have a few birthdays, few events here. I'm going to switch my zoom here just to make sure it's where I want it. We are perfect. So we got 5 birthdays, 4 of them have cards. We'll get to those in just one moment. We'll start off, excuse me, with a few events in racing on this date. 1985, the Cup Series was at North Wilkesboro. This was the site of Neil Bonnet's second win in the 1985 season. The Junior Johnson cars ran 1-2 with Darrell Waltrip taking second. Not really significant for the season in terms of events and so forth, but I recommend you go back and watch this race. It's on YouTube. ESPN covered this race, and Kyle Petty had an onboard camera, and he had a couple of incidents during the race, one with Dale Earnhardt and one on pit road, with a NASCAR official that had to basically leap on the hood of his car to get out of the way. So pretty comical moments on both of those, knowing now the way things were back then. Also, on the same date in 1985 in Formula One, Ayrton Senna won his first ever Formula One race in the Estoril in Spain. So that's a pretty big moment in racing history when you think about it. Ayrton Senna winning his first career F1 race. On this date in 1991, Darrell Waltrip wins at North Wilkesboro, his first win as a car owner in the 17 car. He did have a way back when in the 95 car, his own team, I believe, back in Nashville, back in the early 70s, mid-70s, car number 95. So that wasn't the Darwall or the Darrell Waltrip Incorporated as we came to know in the 90s there. So this was his first win with that team. Jimmy Spencer finished third in that race, his first career top 5 finish, and the first of 4 consecutive, I believe. No, it wasn't. That was the second race in a row that Jimmy would have a top 10, because he had a top 10 at Bristol the week prior and at Martinsville the week after, and then Talladega the following week. So he kind of went on a little mini tear there. Then on this date, 1996, at Phoenix, Jack Sprague got his first career win in the Craftsman Truck Series. So again, you think about it, 2 iconic first wins on this date in racing history. I didn't pick up a year for this birthday. 5 minutes of Google would have helped me out, but I didn't go down that road. But Bob Varsha, the well-known TV commentator, mostly for the road racing series, he has done some NASCAR and IndyCar and some others. We know that he had an issue with cancer a couple years ago, and hopefully he's rebounding from that. He's one of the most well-respected motorsports journalists around. So we'll go to some cards here. Born on this date in 1929, he passed away in 1998. He only has one card, Mr. Ralph Segraves. And Ralph was with the Winston people, and I'll flip this over, and that'll give you a little bit of history about this man. Very instrumental in all of the marketing with Winston and NASCAR, so that helped bring NASCAR to what it is today. Born on this date in 1967, NASCAR Cup crew chief Greg Zipadelli. Of course, I believe he is with SHR now in a more managerial role. Don't know why we have a Brian Weitzel card tucked in there. We'll put that one where it needs to go. But as you can see, I don't have a lot to choose from. It looks like we only have a couple, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know if I have any parallels. Of course, he was Tony Stewart's crew chief for a good many years. Kind of bounced around to a couple teams there within Gibbs, and finally has kind of got that Jimmy Makar type role, I believe. Or no, at SHR, that is, not JGR, SHR. Up next, and I'm only going to show a handful of these cards because I got a lot of them. Born on this date in 1956, former Cup crew chief Billy Ingle. And, of course, most well known for his time at the Tide car, as well with Ricky Rudd and the Pennzoil car for Michael Waltrip. And I'm going to kind of rapid fire through these and see if I have one, and I may not. So that was 98, so that's kind of odd. But I feel somewhere, yeah, right there, 1996. He's with the Cartoon Network. Diamond Ridge told him he could become a racer, and he actually did race some Busch Series races for the Diamond Ridge number 29 car. So I don't know exactly which ones those are, but over on racingreference.info, go to drivers and select Billy Ingle, and he did make a handful of Busch Series starts around 96, 97, driving the 29 car in the Busch Series. So a lot of people may not know that, but that was part of his deal to be a crew chief for the Diamond Ridge Cup Series team was, hey, I want to drive your Busch car. And our final birthday today, a current Xfinity Series driver born on this date in 1994, he's kind of coming into his own, Mr. Austin Hill. Of course, 2022, he won Daytona and Atlanta, so he kind of became known as a speedway guy, and now he's got 3 wins this year. Yeah, Daytona, Atlanta, and I believe it was Vegas. He passed Chandler Smith on the last lap. So he's starting to come into his own. So he doesn't have a lot of cards, but we do have a few there. But I think Austin, if he can keep his current trajectory, he's going to be a contender for the Xfinity Series title this year. I think he makes that final championship 4. And I don't want to see him move up to Cup yet. I want to see him get 2 or 3 more solid years in Xfinity before he gets thrown into Cup. And, look at Noah Gragson. Would he have? I think he'd have been better off to have stayed in the 9 car in the Xfinity Series and win and win and win. Because I think what's going to happen with Noah, he's going to struggle in that 42 car. It's going to hurt his confidence, and it's going to make it harder for him to rebound. It's going to make it harder for him to come back because Legacy Motor Club is struggling. Let's be honest, they are struggling. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this evening's video. I was out doing some running and had some dinner and went to a couple stores, so I didn't get a chance to put it together earlier today. But anyway, always wanted to get it up for you. A lot of neat events that happened today, and of course, some interesting figures in NASCAR having birthdays today. So again, thanks again for watching. Come back and see us tomorrow, and have a good night.